Louis, another busy week ahead for you. Slightly less travelling with the pair of the games this week being at home. So a positive on that front, I suppose, at least. But how he's looking ahead to tomorrow after, obviously, a long trip and a frustrating result for you on Saturday, really.
We're excited ahead of the game tomorrow. Solihull's going to be a strong opposition and it's hopefully going to be a really good game of football. Yes, the weekend was a long travel for us away to Dorking on a difficult pitch and not a result that we wanted, but we're at home and we're looking forward to getting back to winning ways and we're just looking forward to the challenge.
How has the sort of session been with the boys and the approach ahead of tomorrow and on the back of Saturday? You know, I imagine it's not really been too heavy given that obviously you've just had a game a few days ago as well. Yeah,
it was detail orientated to review and analyse our game and performance from Saturday, match day -1. So, you know, we've got to manage the load, especially when it's a tight turnaround from a long travel on Saturday to tomorrow's game. We just looked through some real good stuff that came out of a performance on Saturday, especially the fact that we had a man down for 2/3 of the game, our shape out of possession, our compact units and distances, real strong line at the back, trying to keep, you know, the gaps condensed as much as possible between unit and unit was really, really good. The way that we defended crosses, especially Kenton and Joe Grayson in particular, was incredible throughout the game. So we touched on some, like I say, some areas of strength from our performance, and then where we felt as if we potentially weren't at the levels that we normally expect in possession to control the first part of the game. But yeah, that's just going to make us stronger, make us a better team, ready for tomorrow's game.
Touching on tomorrow, of course, Solihull coming here to the stadium. You got a positive result away at their place a little bit earlier on in the season, but from, you know, your point of view as coach and staff and the players, how are you sort of looking ahead to a test against one of the sort of better performing teams in the division at the moment as well?
Yeah, we're excited. We back ourselves against any team in this league, whether it's home or away, and being honest, you relish the games against teams at the top end, and like you've just mentioned, Solihull have consistently been towards the top end of them playoff positions. They've only lost one in the last 5 games, and they've had some real good performances in there up against Chesterfield and Woking, Oxford City, a bit further beyond that. So, and they picked up a real good win, 5-1 in the trophy. So they're on a good run themselves, but like I say, the stronger the opposition, the more that we're excited, the more that we're going to back ourselves to go and play and impose our style and how we want to play. So they've got some good players, and we've identified that in our opposition analysis meeting after training today. We've got a clear plan of how we're going to look to nullify them threats, especially in the forward areas. But the combination of, you know, what part of our structure is going to be really important to nail down tomorrow, as well as some added, shall we say, added game plan scenarios, which we've really highlighted, where we can hopefully expose some of their weaknesses, watching back some of their games.
Yeah, and then with the hectic schedule, obviously a lot of Tuesday, Saturday games of late and still to come as well. A positive on Saturday that a few faces could get back on the pitch in Joe Grayson and Mamadou Job, and of course Kane Adom making his first appearance for us as well.
Yeah, for sure. It was a pleasure to see Mamadou back on the pitch, to be honest with you. Obviously, I know that, you know, people are aware of his situation and the way that he came in and around the squad, and then was kind of pulled into the squad last minute and then ended up playing. It's just a credit to how good of a person and human being he is. Like you mentioned, you know, Joe came in and was excellent from minute 1 to 95. It was great to see Kane come in and get some minutes. He had real intention in every part of his play when he came on. He really, you know, helped us defend in a real compact shape, but was a threat in possession as well. Wormo getting some more game time, especially within in the league campaign, and he stepped up another level. So yeah, there was a real good game time that's made some individuals much closer to being in contention for starts, and also it's made a lot more competition across the board, which is ultimately we want. We did a shape session before Dorking's game, and pretty much in every position we've got 2 players in every position, which is what we want. We want strength and depth. We want to be able to pick players for specific teams and game plans, but also to keep all the players on their toes, so that ultimately the players that are playing the best will be getting the shirts.
Yeah, and in terms of the squad picture as a whole, how's everyone looking fitness-wise? Of course, Jack Stott pulled out a bit later on Saturday. I think he was struggling with a bit of a calf issue that was kind of a late decision as to whether he was going to be in the squad or not on Saturday. So how's he sort of looking at the minute?
He's getting closer. We've closely monitored him today, and we're going to kind of monitor him tomorrow as well. It's obviously a frustrating one for Jack in terms of obviously having the game against Chesterfield and then Weston-super-Mare, and then obviously in his eyes losing a little bit of momentum in terms of the injury being late. And you know, I know he's doing everything he can to be available for tomorrow, and we'll just make that right judgment call because we want to put the strongest team and squad out tomorrow, but also we have a lot of games coming up in the next month, and especially for the remainder of his loan period. I suppose the flip side to him not playing, he's still being able to take on information in terms of our training sessions, our meetings, so that the next time he steps out on the pitch, he'll just understand our structure that little bit more, which will only help him. So yeah, Jack's going to be in and around it for sure. A bit of touch and go for tomorrow. And then we've got a couple of the players that are kind of getting a little bit closer in their rehab and recovery. And yeah, it's looking pretty strong.